Hey everyone, Joshua Shore with you. We are in our WNDU newsroom here in South Bend, tracking severe weather on what has become a first alert weather day. Our team seeing just enough where they wanted to issue that just for the next few hours because of those pop-up storms that we see on days like this when it's hot enough out there, just hot enough to get those storms popping up and popping around there. Just like yesterday, we saw some activity in Goshen, and now we've got some activity to our south. And with that, I want to go right to Andrew Whitmyer, who's following it all. Andrew, there's a lot happening in the box next to me. Walk us through it.
Yeah, and in fact, if you have the WNDU First Alert Weather app, you likely just received my push notification that I just sent to your smartphone devices, where you can watch this live right now on the WNDU First Alert Weather app, as well as on WNDU.com. Our team issued a very short fused First Alert Weather Day for this afternoon. What's happening is a cold front is just up to our north and west, and as that moves on through for the rest of today, we've got some of these bubbling showers and thunderstorms. And just like what we saw each and every day this week, just strong enough for one or two communities to produce some damaging wind. The National Weather Service, as of right now, has one severe thunderstorm warning out for the central portion of Kosciusko County. Heads up in Syracuse and Warsaw, Leesburg, Winona Lake. We've got a strong thunderstorm approaching your area where the wind could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. And what we're going to do here is toggle on the wind speed and just kind of sample what the radar is trying to highlight about 2 miles above us, what the wind likely is. And there are a few locations around Leesburg and Warsaw where the radar is trying to pinpoint maybe a few gusts of wind around 40, 50, maybe upwards of around 60 miles per hour. So do be on alert if you're around Warsaw, Leesburg areas, that there could be a quick gust of wind in excess of around 40 to 60 miles per hour. And there's also a lot of lightning with this as well. Widening this map out here, we've got a lot of the showers and thunderstorms right now kind of working their way across the eastern half of Michiana, from Warsaw, Silver Lake, Goshen, Elkhart, Sturgis, back up towards LaGrange. And the bulk of that is going to continue to move out of Michiana over towards Fort Wayne, Detroit, and over towards Ohio. But on the back side of this, what we're watching is for a few additional thunderstorms that have bubbled on up. One just north of Rensselaer and a few additional ones back around Dowagiac, just to the west there of Niles, Buchanan, and just to the north there of New Buffalo and Three Oaks, looking at a few additional downpours. So for the rest of today, we will be on alert for some more of these scattered downpours moving through Michiana, and some of these again could produce with it a quick gust of wind, just like we saw the past few days, of a few gusts of wind 40 to 60 miles per hour. Let's hope we don't have any damage. We saw some of those tree damage photos over in and around the Goshen south side around the airport from yesterday's stronger thunderstorms. But nonetheless, we have one severe thunderstorm warning out right now. We're going to wait for the radar to kind of reset here down around Kosciusko County, and there technically is a severe thunderstorm watch out for most of Michiana, not including Berrien or LaPorte counties, until 9 p.m. I don't expect this severe thunderstorm watch to last until 9 p.m. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if most, if not all, of Michiana is dropped by this severe thunderstorm watch as we head on into this evening sometime around 6 p.m. Something our First Alert Weather team will continue to watch. Again, this is not an outbreak. Okay. This is not widespread. These are very isolated in coverage. One or two communities may unfortunately have a damaging wind gust in excess of 60 miles per hour, Josh. But most of us, it's just another day where we're just trying to win the rain lottery. I know at this point we do need it still. With that, I got to ask you a question as I'm waiting for questions to come in on Facebook. I know we got a lot of people watching us on our Digital Plus apps as well. Andrew, why do they always seem to pop up in our area, whether it's on in our area directly in South Bend or whether it's just north or south of us? It's always in our Michiana DMA, as we like to say in news parlance. Why is that? Yeah, and Josh, this week, I don't have the graphic ready, but really this week what has happened, this big heat dome, that big area of high pressure is just to our south. And what that's doing is we're on the northern edge of that. So what's happening is we're almost right on the northern edge of the jet stream. So that's just allowing this atmospheric river of these thunderstorms just to kind of travel this energy to travel almost right overhead of Michiana, kind of the Great Lakes states, if you will. We're not the only ones that have been dealing with these daily pop-up thunderstorms. Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, they've been dealing with these bubbling, almost daily chances of a few pulsing stronger storms. So that's really the culprit on why we've been dealing with this kind of Florida-like pattern, as I've been describing, of these daily chances of these pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And we have that on First Alert Weather radar right now. Cold front, though, is back off to our west. It's back around Chicago, Rockford, Madison, Milwaukee area. Once that moves on through, we've got a much lower humid day headed our way for our Saturday pick day of the week, and then more additional storm chances headed our way early in the upcoming week.
So this First Alert Weather day that you're issuing really is not a day. It's kind of a moment in time, several hours, so it's short-lived. But I want to ask you and give you time to look. I don't know if you have it in front of you where you're stationed right now from the National Weather Service. Are you seeing any reports coming in right now from Warsaw or that area, Kosciusko County? I'm just curious what you're seeing. I do see that yellow box there, and that's something you've been keeping a close eye on. That is set to expire in 15 minutes. But are you seeing anything like reports? Is there hail, winds, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot in the way of reports right now. Oftentimes, like what happened in Goshen. Goshen yesterday, we had this strong thunderstorm that moved through right before Lauren and I came on to 16 News Now live at 4. And it was about a good hour after that storm moved through before we were starting to get some of those initial reports into First Alert Weather of some tree damage moving on in. An update from the National Weather Service. Now you're just seeing it change here on this graphic as we speak, Josh. And if you're going back and watching this, this is at 3:15 p.m. The National Weather Service has just briefly upped the wind now to 70 miles per hour. Some straight line wind damage possible between
70?
Leesburg and Syracuse. So if you're out on the lake in Syracuse at Lake Wawasee, now's the time. If you know anyone out on Lake Wawasee, Lake Syracuse, it's time to let them know. It's time to get the boat back inside. You don't want to be on that lake when you've got wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour. We're going to sample the radar here. And right now, the strongest wind, we're going to shut this off here. The strongest wind right now is just to the west of Leesburg. So I'm going to circle Leesburg for you on this map. There's Syracuse. And this is where the National Weather Service is, down in North Webster. You kind of see the radar sensor right there, that big little Gulf dome. What the radar is trying to pick up here is some of this blue shaded area. And the winds in this blue shaded area are trying to pick up anywhere from around 50 to 65 miles per hour. But what's happening, Josh, as the storm kind of rejuvenates and as it begins to try to start to weaken, what can happen during all of this heat and humidity that's around, as these storms begin to die on off, they start to lose all of their energy, compress all that energy. So a few neighborhoods, maybe as far away as 1 or 2 miles, could look at a very intense burst of wind for a very short period of time.
So basically, it's like Mother Nature's sneeze. It's like a relief all at once. But that's a great way to put it. You said something here, and I want to end with this. This is not widespread. When you zoom out of the map, you notice that. But these do pop up. One, it could pop up anywhere at any time. But two, you said it, these could die off over the next several hours. But it's important we bring you this because you mentioned it. Lake Wawasee, right? It's lake season, right? Boating season. People are out on the lake.
Yeah, everyone is out. It's Friday. Everyone's out getting ready for the July 4th holiday week. It's the Christmas holiday of the summer season, as I like to phrase it. And it all begins this weekend, lasting through next weekend. Everyone is all over the place. So keep the WNDU First Alert Weather app handy. If you see any dark clouds near your location, check the radar on the free WNDU First Alert Weather app. I don't want to see anyone out in lightning. We heard about that horrific story down in South Carolina, where over a dozen people were unfortunately struck by lightning earlier this week. If you hear thunder, it's time to get indoors into a sturdy structure. Don't go hide underneath the tree. Don't go sit underneath the boat canopy. Don't go sit underneath the pavilion. You need to go physically inside or inside a vehicle to protect yourself from lightning. Lightning can be just as dangerous as straight line damaging wind gusts in excess of 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. We're going to keep an eye on this, Josh, in First Alert Weather. Again, right now, the worst of the storm right now in Kosciusko County, headed up towards LaGrange County as well. So if you're in LaGrange, Shipshewana, Syracuse, Leesburg, Warsaw, Pearston areas, I would keep a close eye on the WNDU First Alert Weather app, and we'll keep a look at the radar as, again, a few of these additional thunderstorms will be pulsing for the rest of the afternoon.
We say that as behind you there's sunshine in St. Joe County, just to show you exactly how isolated this is. Andrew, I know you got to go back to work. We will see you here in the next 35 to 40 minutes on 16 News Now at 4. For those of you watching us on Facebook right now, that does it for now. We are going to see you as well. Lauren is going to be joining me as well on the desk. for the first time in a long time. We'll be together once again at 4 o'clock. We'll see you
Hi.
on. There she is.
You said sunshine just came out behind me. I said, oh, because I just walked by.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? So Lauren Moss is here. It'll obviously be a great show, and we can't wait to see you. But obviously, we can't wait to update you as well with the very latest on what Andrew's talking about there as sunshine leaves here in the newsroom as well. We will see you guys very soon. Be safe and be careful out there.